Like, yeah, hit it 3 different things to get it to
Yep.
actually start. Preparing, setting up.
Pretty soon, Lisa, pretty soon. We're gonna have to open that back up.
That's what I remember. Well, that's what I.
Right, we are now live, so that's good. And you may start the meeting.
Big crowd tonight, huh?
Okay, I am going to call to order the Town of Griswold Board of Selectmen regular meeting on May 12th, 2026, 6 PM at the Griswold Town Hall. Item number 1, call to order, roll call. Tina Falk, first Selectman. Wayne Malin, Selectman. Matt Danieluk, Selectman. And 6 residents are here. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we will go on to item number 3, approval of minutes. We have regular meeting minutes for April 14th, 2026, special meeting minutes, April 16th, 2026, special meeting minutes on May 5th, 2026.
I'll have to abstain from April 14th and May 5th because I was not there. But I'll make a motion to approve the April 16th special meeting minutes.
Okay,
I'll second that motion. And should I just make a,
Vote on that one first.
all right.
April 16th?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion to approve April 16th special meeting minutes. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve 3A and 3C meeting minutes.
Okay, with Wayne abstaining from May 5th
And the 14th.
and the 14th, and I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item number 4, correspondence, monthly report totals from Griswold Fire Department. And then you also have Lisa put out here for you, she added the monthly report totals from Jewett City Fire Department for you to review. Any discussion?
Only as usual to say thank you to both departments.
I agree. Wayne?
No?
Okay, and that's just,
Yeah.
all right, number 5, old business. Discussion on update of success of annual cleanup day. The annual community cleanup day was very successful, although I will say I was disappointed at the number of groups, school groups, committees, residents who did not adopt a road. However, the good news is that Public Works, the bulky waste collection, was off the charts. Twice as what it was last year, am I correct? And the numbers that I have, after they finished all of the tonnage, bulky waste collected 22.4 tons. Single stream recycle collected 3.06 tons, and scrap metal was 4.79 tons, for a total of 30.25 tons that we collected that day. So I'd say it was quite successful. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay, discussion and possible action on status of skate park. At one of our meetings, we are having discussion with Ryan Aubin, and I had mentioned that we would be going through taking frequent rides by the skate park, and we'll probably, I would suggest that we do that through the end of May. Okay, we drive by, we see what the activity is, and I've been recording it. I started this on, I think, April 14th, and all of my numbers so far, I've not seen one skateboarder in the skate park. Maybe a total of 10 youth in the community. A couple of bikes, which are not supposed supposed to be allowed, and kids just there. They were running, jumping off the ramps. So we're gonna continue to monitor it through, do you agree the end of May, or do you wanna go sooner?
I think the original date that we gave in the meeting, when we talked to Ryan originally, was the May 28th regular selectmen meeting was when we were gonna make a decision.
Okay,
So I think that was.
so I'll continue to do the drive-bys, and we do different times of day, weekends, late morning, afternoon, we go through in the evening, so we're trying to get a good idea as to how it's being used and what it's, what's happening there, so.
I believe you're probably gonna see an uptick, hopefully, as the weather gets better. I mean, April was.
It's possible, it's possible. So in all fairness,
Especially when school gets out too.
we're gonna continue. So we'll report back on that.
Like you said, it shouldn't be right around bikes and that kind of thing. I
No.
don't know if I guess if we do keep up to talk about the rules board up there, it needs to be updated if we do end up.
Correct.
deciding.
No, I agree with that. You're right. All right, item number 6, new business. Discussion and possible action on 5 tax refunds for a total of $1,305.31 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax refunds of $1,305.31 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve those tax refunds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6B, discussion and possible action on social media issues. I have nothing. Anybody? No? Matt?
No issues. There's been a lot of engagement lately, which has been really good. And
Good.
I think people are asking good questions and contributing to the conversation a little bit, which is,
Good.
wish it would be here in this room more, but at least it's happening somewhere.
Okay. All right. 6C, discussion and possible action on setting the annual town meeting date for May 20th, 2026 at 6 PM, 28 Main Street, which is here at the town hall.
Make a motion to set the annual town meeting date, May 20th, 2026, 6 PM at 28 Main Street.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Town meeting will be set for May 20th, 2026 at 6 PM. 6D, discuss, yes?
Vote on that. That last one, you didn't take a vote. You said we have a second, and the town meeting date will be set, but.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you, Lisa. 6D, discussion and possible action on establishing an employee assistance program. I had an opportunity to sit in on a presentation with a company that would come in and establish an employee assistance program, and I think I sent you information on that. It's quite an opportunity, I think, for all of our town employees. And I was pretty amazed at the services that will be available. Everything from legal advice to mental health to purchasing, savings. It's a fabulous program. And in talking with our finance director, the cost to the town, and she has already put it in the budget, will be, it's going to be either $2,500 a year or $3,000 a year, depending on whether part-time employees are included in the program. So I think it's a fabulous service to our employees.
Are we taking action on that tonight? Is that something that requires, because I looked through it and I would say 2 things. One, for the other $500, just include the part-time employees so that everyone has access to it. That seems like a no-brainer to me. And 2, I was going through this pre-meeting on the website for the company that you sent us the flyer for.
Yes.
And it's so much more than just what my original understanding of an employee assistance program was.
Yeah.
There are a ton of services, from childcare, like you said, to there's even a pet information, thing that they offer. There's wellness coaching, and it's something that is inexpensive that we can do for our town employees, and it feels like a great idea. So unless unless you guys feel otherwise, I would motion to approve doing it at the $3,000 mark where we're including our part-time employees in the employee assistance program.
Okay, so you're making that a motion?
I am.
Wayne, how do you feel?
Well, most companies have something like this for their employees, so I don't have a problem with it, so I'll make a second. And that cost is not really gonna be impactful, so.
Okay. So we have a first and a second to support and help promote the employee assistance program for the rate of $3,000 to include part-time employees. Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. E, discussion and possible action on accepting funds from Leonard Cemetery account for continued maintenance. And I know, Wayne, you had some questions. I tried to send you some
I did have some
information.
questions, and the wording of the letter sent from the individual had some concerns, but then when I read through the state statutes, the town attorney sent, which I thank you for getting, that did clarify a lot. As a matter of fact, I think there's some things we need to do to accomplish that. I talked to Kelly, maybe get a line item for that amount of money so we can track
Okay.
that and that kind of thing. So I don't have a problem accepting the money to support maintaining that cemetery. That's the one over by Kenwood, right?
Correct.
So,
Couple of things I'll add to that. When I spoke to Attorney Norman today, he was in the process of, he was talking to the bank so that the bank will send the money directly to the town. And then I'm gonna call on Todd because you're familiar with how Rickstown Cemetery, how that whole process went and where we are with that right now.
I talked to Kelly today because Rickstown, when we took it over, they had 3 bank accounts. It took us a while back and forth with paperwork with the attorney, but we merged them into one. And the way we've done that one is it's in a passbook. And I think Leonard should be the same way in a passbook. There's a little bit of a difference because Rickstown still has open burials where lots have been sold that aren't filled.
Yeah.
So there needs to be money there to pay people and then bill the according family. Leonard is full, but there are maintenance items. We had a stone wall get hit there years ago. We paid for that because we didn't know there was any money.
Right.
Put new gate posts in a couple times. I think they're gonna be put in again shortly. We supplied them to somebody to fabricate them. Put the wrought iron gates back up so they swing. So stuff like that could come out of that account. It's not something we take the mowing expense out, because we're mowing so many of them.
How many do you mow? How many cemeteries does Public Works mow?
16, we just finished up.
I don't think anybody realizes the number of cemeteries that are mowed.
That was news to me.
I suggested to Kelly, we put that in the passbook, just like we did with Rickstown, so it's earmarked just for that. It can't be mistaken or used, but it's there if we.
For any other,
Kind of
okay.
repairs that are extensive.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get a car goes into a cemetery, they break 6 or 8 headstones, and then you have to have somebody come in and paint them in epoxy, and that money can be used for that.
the only question I had, are they still, talk to Mr. Norman about, they still donate to that? These people just donate or?
No,
That's-
he is the remaining,
Okay.
Last guy standing.
Last guy's-
he's the last remaining
The last
person,
guy
and he just doesn't wanna, he doesn't wanna be that anymore.
Okay.
So that was when he came to the town to say he'd like to turn the money over to the town, for reasons that Todd just explained.
Okay.
And the other thing we do with Rickstown is we did form the Rickstown Cemetery Committee.
Yep.
They do have 5 members that meet, so probably should look at doing something similar here.
That was
way,
mentioned in the statute.
yeah, that way you have a group that if they see something that they think needs to be addressed, they could come to town
Yep. Okay, well, we can work on that.
Would it make sense to have a committee that does that for all of the cemeteries?
and.
Instead
A lot
of
these
just,
cemeteries just are defunct.
yeah,
The families are no longer in existence. They were family cemeteries, some of them.
but I'm just saying, we know we struggle with volunteers on the whole, but if you had a pretty solid group of people who cared about doing that because of what it means for,
Well-
just out of respect for,
But the guidelines like for Rickstown is you have to have a plot.
Okay, to be on the committee.
That's the way it was set up because there's still open burials there.
Gotcha.
So that rule was established that you have to be a lot holder.
Okay,
Leonard Cemetery, I don't know if there's any heirs that are still, there are some because they come from California. They call me to make sure that we've mowed it, so they can come here. And
Do they really?
yeah, they actually just put a new stone in, I think 2 years ago for the family.
Wow,
They asked if they could replace it, and they wanted to put the old one against the wall in the corner, so it stayed there. But it was deteriorated, so.
Interesting.
Permission to do that. Wow. But, you know, I don't know if you would make that stipulation with that cemetery. I would think that maybe some of the people in the Kenwood area may have an interest and want to get on a committee.
and I do know that we have a couple of the veterans from the Veterans Coffee House who had expressed that, I know there's one gentleman in particular, he does go around to look at the condition to see, you know, where the needs are. So I think we can probably ask some of them to maybe keep their eyes open.
Kenwood's got an HOA, we can run it by them too.
Yeah.
So.
so then I would say, as long as we are ensuring that, like Todd said, passbook style, so that money can't be like line item transferred somewhere else, as long as we are ensuring that those funds that are being donated and passed on are exclusively for maintaining the Leonard Cemetery, then I would make a motion that we accept the funds for continued maintenance of the Leonard Cemetery.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll make a second.
Okay, and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
So,
I would like to have somebody make a motion to move number 8, public forum, before number 7, any other business.
Make a
so,
motion, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, so moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So we are going to move number 8 up now to public forum. Is there any other public forum? Any public
We gotta
forum?
vote.
Dave View, 59 Lee Avenue.
Huh?
I
Oh.
talked to some old.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Sorry, Dave.
We have to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Gotcha.
Aye. Yes, Dave?
Dave View, 59 Lee Avenue. I talked with some old Navy friends that were avid skateboarders, and I was telling them about our park. And they said, "You're screwed." He said, once they put paint on the concrete, it changes the adhesion, and the wheels, they'll have traction, and all of a sudden it'll slip out from under them. So by keeping the park open, we may be jeopardizing people who are using it. Unless we can clear the concrete and the paint completely, which is not cost effective for the town to do.
The whole park is paint.
Yeah. But
But you raise an interesting point, because I was asked the other day about, I don't want to say, all right, what are the repercussions? Do we ask the youth who have done the painting, and this came from one of the troopers, do you want them to paint all of it? If what you're saying is true, that's going to impact,
it evens out the adhesion then. They're not gonna have a sticky spot and then a slick spot.
okay.
So
Okay,
if they use the same paint on everything with an even coat, it should be okay.
okay. All right. All right, thank you.
And second, the summer has arrived, and so have my usual group of dirt bike riders on Saturday. Down the neighborhood streets, loud mufflers, racing around. The bikes are not street legal. We go through this every year. They meet and greet at one residence where they even have a clubhouse erected. They pull in a giant mobile home, push out the wings, and they all meet up in there, go off for their rides, come back, congregate there.
They
the whole bit.
they put up a mobile home?
They brought in a mobile, every summer they bring in a big mobile home. In the winter, they truck it off to their uncle's farm.
Okay,
Got electricity hooked up, I don't know if there's water hooked up, but to me, that's a residence. It's, I've complained about it before, nothing's ever been done,
do you know the address?
right next door,
Okay,
61. You're welcome to come up my driveway and look in the backyard and see the mobile home.
okay,
And Saturdays, they're there mid-morning till late in the afternoon.
okay,
It's the same group that, and it's coming up, fireworks launched over my property and over the town's property in the back. Because the town has I think a 4-acre lot behind the 3 houses.
okay,
And sooner or later, they're gonna set it on fire. I brought it up every year. Last year, the fire marshal was involved. The state troopers went there, never did anything. Just very frustrating.
okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Any other public forum?
Good, you go first.
You're all set.
So, Rich Canova, 52 Dina Lane. To Dave's point on the town-owned properties, that there is an ordinance in place that is enforceable by the state police, and that was from years ago when Paul Bricky was still first selectman in the old town hall building over there. And I pushed it because we have a 4-acre or so property behind us that's town-owned that was required to be designated to that neighborhood.
Bless you.
They built neighborhoods back then, and it's never had anything done with it, but it could be. So I pushed to get ordinances, because at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, the parties were unbelievable back there. And pushed and pushed and pushed, and Paul finally pushed forward an ordinance that allowed the state police to actually arrest them, $90 fines, I think it was, and all that stuff. So there is
Something in
there
place?
is an ordinance in place to deal with that on town property.
Open space ordinance.
I mean, I've got the original ordinance, I believe, at home. I'm sure it's probably been changed since then, but
So I'm looking at it, and obviously the back end of Leah Ave is, if you just went straight through the woods, you hit Urechko's, right? And then satellite view, it's a ton of open space before you hit Hopeville. Is that all state park back there for the most part,
No.
to the
And
left?
Mr. Babbitt can verify it. Behind my property and on each side of me,
Mhm.
the town property extends behind there. And then down the other side and behind is, I believe it's an old gravel pit that went on for years, and it goes around to Spider Lane. Yeah, and they go down the road, go all in that gravel bank area.
Who owns the gravel bank?
the gentleman owns Hopeville Campground on Edmond Road.
Okay.
He bought that, because they were doing some shooting there when I was selectman, and Dave had come to me and I called him, and it was him and his son shooting a .22 rifle out there.
Okay,
I don't think they take gravel on it.
No, it's Mariah Edmond,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, on
All right.
73 Edmond Road, that's considered TD management also.
thank you, Rich.
Martin McKinney, 8 Total Lane, Grizzle. My concern is, you know, I was involved in the skateboard park building. Okay, we had rules, there's a couple of things that happen, from basketball courts to skateboard parks to tennis. You know, we build them, but then we don't maintain them. And my issue is, you know, I know it's not a good budget year, but some of the stuff is park and recs, and there are certain responsibilities and obligations that they gave us to maintain it, to do certain things, and to police their own stuff that fell by the wayside, okay? And I think we're putting a $150,000 playground in, you know, and I don't wanna be sitting here, I'm probably not gonna be, but 5 or 10 years later, and taking that down, because we don't have any maintenance structure set up to handle the stuff we build. We build it, then we just budget cut, Public Works can't do it, Recreation Department doesn't wanna do it. I just think if we're putting money into programs
and fields and skateboard parks, and anything we put our money in, you know, fix the fence, do this, do this.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
once you let that fence sit ripped and don't repair it, once you open it up, it's like the basketball courts. I used to rip the basketball courts down before we put a Little League field in there. I just think the lack of maintenance becomes a deterrent, and then nobody treats it like it's supposed to be done. And then when we went through this, to put that skateboard park in, it was supposed to be monitored by the rec department. They were supposed to give them passes. And they did it for quite a few years. And all of a sudden, stuff falls by the wayside. Then it goes to Public Works. Then it goes. So I think if we're spending public money again to build, and people are gonna say, oh, nothing's gonna happen to that playground. Something's gonna happen to that playground. And we need to get a functionality or something that takes care of our recreational stuff and keeps it to standards and keeps the thing going, then throw it on Public Works, and then Public Works gets told, and I'm not defending Todd, but, you know, you're not gonna get any more people, and that's not the way it's supposed to be, you know? You build it, you spend the kind of money we spent on that skateboard park, we haven't maintained anything. You know, everybody's all riled up now. We had the basketball court, nobody maintained anything, we ripped that down. You know, we're gonna build another playground, you know, in 5 years. I just think that, and no disrespect to the Board of Ed, but I think the tennis courts are terrible also. You know, we have all these recreational things. I know it's a different budget, I get it, Board of Ed budget, but I think there's gotta be some horsepower with the Recreation Commission to maintain what the town builds and the money we spend to maintain in a longer term. That's all I'm saying.
If we're going to do it, it has to be maintained, and we are
Well, that's-
having,
but
there
we're
is a
not-
special
we're not.
meeting, there's a special meeting tomorrow, we're meeting with Ryan on his vision going forward with the
That's
playground and the skate park and all of that. And that's one of the things that I am,
He made some commitments to that.
Really
He hasn't
passionate.
lived up to them.
yeah, but I'm pretty passionate about saying, if this kind of money is going to be spent, then there has to be a plan in place
Well, there
for
is a plan in
maintenance
place for the skateboard park, but
and,
they're not following it.
and oversight.
There
Yeah,
is a plan for the
I think-
skateboard park. they're not
yep,
following
I
it.
You're-
realize that.
You hit the nail on the head, and it's like anything else, right? If you buy a $100,000 car and then you never change the oil, you just threw away your money, right? Like, you have to maintain
And we're
things.
and I'm not saying the new playground is throwing away money, but I'm just saying.
No, but if we didn't
We're
maintain it,
putting,
right?
and then we're taking the skateboard park and moving it over there. And if we're
So-
not gonna maintain it, in 5 to 10 years, it's gonna be jumped just like the skateboard park.
So I wonder then, thinking about like, how do we take that, you're right to point that out. How do we build in safeguards against that? Because to be honest with you, the rec department is not really capable of maintaining a facility like that. So how do we make sure that the right
But
amount
they
of money,
agreed They were gonna do it.
but how do we ensure that the right amount of money and staffing goes to Public Works? Or how do we look at what the town of Lisbon does with their tennis pickleball courts,
I agree.
Lisbon Meadows, the
That's all
barn?
I'm saying.
You know, I think maybe it's worth doing some research to figure out what percentage of your budget to build the thing needs to be put aside for future repair
I
or
think we spend
maintenance
the
or
money on
something too.
recreation, we should maintain the money
Yeah,
somehow on recreation, and we should maintain what we have.
It has to be
until
built in.
something else moves on.
yeah, no, that's a good point, and,
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Problem in this
And I don't mean to
town,
be a jerk
period,
about it.
is enforcement.
No,
We've
you're
got
not. You're right.
Problems. We've got some kids that aren't being respectful with our properties, and we've got to take care of that problem, otherwise it's gonna carry over whatever we put up. And, yeah, we do need to maintain some of the areas, and we can talk about that
We'll fix the
tomorrow.
fence, do this, you gotta maintain it, because they know you're not maintaining it, you know, so. You gotta
Well,
get
they
that
also
gate
know we
going
don't
back,
have
but
any
they
eyes
can't get a bike
watching.
in.
We're not doing anything with it, we got security cameras, we're not doing anything with that information
No, I know, I
either.
get it.
So we
But you
gotta
have a
do
gate,
something.
you can't get, you have a gate that's set up so you can't get bikes in. Knock it down. You haven't redone that gate to keep the bikes out, so that's, not you, Wayne, I don't mean this is, I'm just saying, as a town,
right,
we're gonna knock it down and we're gonna do something else, and we're not gonna maintain that, and we're gonna knock that down and do something else.
Mhm.
That's what we need to get some money set aside. This is not a good budget year to do it, but something to maintain the recreational stuff we have in place.
Agree. Okay, any other public forum? Yes,
Dave, you 59 Leah. I know during the previous meeting about the skate park, comment was made that, yes, there's cameras, but we can't go back and scan the cameras. You don't have to. They run for 24 hours. You don't have to watch them for 24 hours. If you know there was an incident on November the 3rd, after 9 PM, before 8 AM, you only gotta scan those hours until you see the culprit or whatever. And nobody's willing to do that.
Actually, they did.
recently.
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
And they know who it is.
For a couple of different things, for that, and there was also another incident there recently that they had to pull camera footage
But the
for.
comment was made by,
Yeah, I think when we were
the
talking
borough's
about
representative.
using it as like monitoring
Yeah.
around the clock kind of deal, it's hard, but because they don't have just the manpower to do that, I think is the issue. But yeah, you're right, when you have a specific range, you can definitely go and utilize it.
like they always say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Well, nothing happened. We don't have to find out what caused it.
Exactly, exactly. Any other public forum? Any other public forum? Okay, seeing none, we are going to go on to any other business that may come before, properly come before the board. Could I have a motion to, I'd like to motion on discussion and update on grant writer?
One second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And it's just a quick update that we have hired a part-time assistant grant writer who will be starting with us here in the town hall on Monday. And we're hoping that this can be the start of bringing more money in through grants. All right? And we just wanted to make the public aware that we now have a grant writer on staff. And then if I could have a motion to bring on update on tree warden?
I'll make a motion to bring up update the tree warden.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Todd, do you want to take this over? I know that our current tree warden, Paul Bricky, his term has expired. It expired in April, Lisa?
April 12th.
Yep, April 12th. And Todd, you went, give a little background on how you fell into this.
Paul was the tree warden, Paul Dickey. When he fell ill and was kind of out of commission, I was doing a lot of legwork. He was filling out the postings, and I would post the trees, I would delineate property lines, things like that. So he suggested that I should take some of the classes to become a tree warden, so I did. Completed that, and he had told me that his intention was around July sometime to resign. But I think he reached out to him in an email.
Lisa did.
I mean, I don't care if you want to wait till he responds, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm still put in as a deputy, so I can still do it. So it's up to the board if they want to do anything now or wait until we officially get meeting.
I mean, for me personally, I'd like to wait until we have,
Yeah, official email from Paul.
yeah, to
you know.
see what his intentions would be.
I think it's a respectful thing to do, we've done it for a number of years, so.
Yeah,
Bless you.
bless you. Yeah, I'm of the same mind. I think that would be appropriate.
Okay. We don't need a motion on that, do we?
No, that's fine.
No. All right, and then,
I'm gonna go with the dog.
what?
You'll be chasing yourself around with a net all the time.
All right, and then, would somebody like to motion on the update on AV equipment?
Sure, I'll make a motion to update the AV room equipment conversation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matt?
Okay. So we are right about at the finish line on updating the meeting room audio video system, which will allow us to stream any and all meetings in this room with incredible clarity to the YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and if we so choose down the road, a variety of other landing spots. The total cost of all of the equipment, including professional installation, is just over $15,000. I'll pull up the actual spreadsheet right now so I can give you an actual update. The only recurring cost is a $470 per year.
What was that?
Didn't,
Is that an accident?
sounded like an accident. We're gonna hit pause on that conversation.
Sounds like something blew off to me.
Oh, don't say that.
That's the second.
Anyway, yeah, so grand total, $15,271.56. After a lot of discussion and planning and looking at how it all works, ultimately, the best option was gonna be a system that would be, it can be moved if it has to be moved, but it really is intended to live in this room. And then in the future, if we ever need to have a satellite meeting, we can bring the owl with us for those purposes, even though really that's intended for like a boardroom. But this will allow for an HD camera facing the board side, an HD camera facing the audience side. It'll be a small frame picture in a picture, with the larger picture being the board. Every one of the 7 gooseneck microphones at the desks will be routed directly into the stream, not into a speaker in the room. So you will get the clarity on the audio broadcast. It's got built-in transcription service, so we'll be able to get a full transcription of the meeting. This will maybe require us to make some adjusting, where perhaps when you do roll call, you have everybody state their name into the microphone instead of just the chairperson saying it out loud, so that the AI can identify who's talking better. So it's gonna handle all that stuff for us. It is also gonna be incredibly user-friendly. You will turn on the 2 cameras, you will turn on the mixing board, and you will press go live. And that will be it. There will be no more laptop. We're gonna do the initial setup at the beginning. You know, and then it's all live there. It records to a hard drive, which is included in this pricing, so that we can connect it to a town laptop to pull either just individual audio or video or the entire recording for our archives that we store with the town clerk, and then it can be wiped to continue to use it. This also includes, after some other requests, 2 brand new 75-inch flat screen TVs, which will be linked together via an HD link, so that when we have presentations in this room, you'll connect and it will show both the boards and the audience, and then hopefully maybe some of our other friends in town can make some good use of this TV for some other promotional opportunities. We'll talk about that, but that was my thought initially. Yeah, so that's the short version of everything, but does anybody have questions?
I don't. I just want to say thank you for doing that, but I do have one. Jim Barney was talking about
Yes.
flat screen TVs.
Buying and donating, yes.
Has there been any connection, any discussion on,
Jim went in for surgery last week, and I told him to call me when he was feeling better. I haven't heard from him. I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
He's feeling better.
I did throw it out, I think, to
Was it
Rich in
planned
passing, and then
surgery?
I did also, I asked Kathy about it, Kathy Wasik about it as well, and as it pertains to the EDC's usage.
okay, as long as there's communication.
It seems like
as
the
far as-
natural fit for you guys to be able to utilize that without having to purchase anything, since we're building the updates for this room into the cost. So I think that would be helpful. There's also an 8th gooseneck microphone. We're gonna do a little bit of rearranging of some of the chairs, but the public forum will have a podium with a microphone as well for people to speak. We certainly can modify that if we need to make it a wireless you know, that would just be a small purchase outside of this if we decided we wanted to do that, but it, you know, we'll have a podium for people to also speak at that will be recorded on the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of equipment stuff on here, but it's mostly like cable connectors.
I'm glad you understand it because I don't. So, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're getting, this is installation and setup is built into this as well.
Yeah.
So we'll make the appropriate adjustments to the desks as needed. And then this bad boy, this massive mixer and power supply that we have here, it still works. It just doesn't really work for our purposes.
Mhm.
It's more like if you needed live audio somewhere, so it, up to whoever, the monitors that go with it are in the basement right now. It could go to the basement, or if we feel like there's another place it could be used, or if we want to try and sell it on whatever marketplace or something, I don't know. That's a conversation to be
That's a
had.
good
but-
DJ thing.
Sure. It's huge.
We'll let you do it,
It's-
Martin.
It's huge, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not doing that.
this is for Martin's future as a karaoke DJ right here.
Okay, all right.
So at this point, all that really remains to be done is for us to say yes or no to this and then purchase the equipment and get it installed so we can hopefully start doing this soon.
This is already in the budget, so it's not really,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I just kind of wanted all three of us to say yes to this before we did anything for real.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the purchase.
All right, do we need to make a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the equipment described by Matt to improve the media in this room.
Okay, I will second that. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
And the last thing to add is I'd like a motion to add on to the agenda discussion on contracts.
I'll make a motion to add ongoing discussion on contracts.
I'll make a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now,
All right, and I am asking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss ongoing contract negotiations.
I will make a motion to go into executive session, including Todd Babbitt. Yes?
Yep,
Yeah.
at 6:41.
I'll make a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, going into executive session, inviting in Todd Babbitt to discuss ongoing contract negotiations at 6:41. Okay,
Aye.
Vote on it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just so everybody knows, the meeting will adjourn right after the executive session, so there'll be nothing else.
Oh, you don't want us to wait for you?
Only if you got a cooler
Bye,
in your
have a
car,
good
Cheryl.
night. All right.
Guys, give me a second.
No.
Everything.
No worries.